Hello, YouTube. I reached Master in the past season with Sky Striker, so I figured I make a quick deck profile. It's a blind second build that takes a lot of inspiration from the TCG builds we have seen top in the past few weeks, months. Anyway, on to the card by card. Unlike the TCG builds, we are playing Ash Blossom just because Maxi is a card and li- like extra hand traps doesn't hurt. Usually, like Ash somewhere does like prevent opponent going full combo, or you just save it for a potential maxi on opponent's turn, or like on your turn when you're breaking the board. Then we're playing the triple ray and one rose standard ratio. Then triple upstart for just deck thinning. That's gonna be a theme for this profile. Wrote up nothing interesting there. Then into the void. Like even with Ash Blossoms, you're not most likely gonna have a Ash Blossom in hand, and if you do, it's just too bad. But most of the time, it doesn't matter that you have to discard your entire hand at the end phase. And the big thing here is that you can go down to 33 cards uh, in if you count desires as one also like so you can have such a smaller deck and a lot of free spells in graveyard. So engage comes online much easier. And then we have the card in hand engage. So because plus ones are fun, you play a lot of free spells, and then one afterburner because it's the a good solid plus one. Only one lightning storm because of the way this is built differently is that you have so much draw power, you want to see only one. And these are powerful cards, but you don't want to ever see multiples of this. And it's not powerful enough to like warrant the risk of drawing it multiple times. Talents, same story. TCG players have played more than one, like two, a lot of the time, but here again, it just isn't worth the risk of running into multiples with the amount of drawing you're gonna be doing. Then trust, in the other hand, is worth the risk of having multiple trust in your hand, because you can just like discard it for droplet or multi-roll or just linkage. And then it's multi-roll, just recovery. Helps you grind out games, but it's not super important. Like, I'm not worried about it getting desires banished, so I'm not playing more than one. Then Called by the Graves is just amazing. Like, it can trust up something like Promethean Princess, and also, of course, the normal hand traps. There's a lot of like grave things you can't be stopping with it. Then Hornet drones and Widow anchors, shark cannons. Not really much here, outside of maybe that I'm playing two Widow shark cannons, even with Called by the Graves, just because grave disruption is so important right now. And on top of that, grave. You are playing Desire, so you always want to have at least one shark cannon available. That helps like link climb into access code or Azealia, so you can end the games a bit faster. Then I'm playing triple droplet. I know the TCG builds again played only two for the logic of you don't want to draw too many of it, but I feel like that's kind of backwards logic because droplet again is a powerful board, like the powerful board breaker, especially in striker where you can abuse a lot of like Widow one, Shark Cannon two. Then when opponent reacts with those, then you can maybe even linkage then and then drop a droplet, negate three. Then then Widow might resolve on the original target. Then you have 3 spells in graveyard already, so you can steal it. And there's a lot of things going for it. And if you draw multiples, you can just discard the other copies for the cost of the one you can resolve. And then linkage is being played at 2 as well, which I'm not like as comfy with. Like, I'm not worried about not seeing a starter, but linkage does give you a lot of options in uh, in the way like you can dodge targeted negations. That's not as important in Master Duel, but in TCG especially, like a lot of time you can dodge something like a Fiendsmith negation, because you can just send what they were actually wanting to negate and then make something like Kaina, so they just, negate a Kaina, who cares? Anyway, and then one of Imperm, because sometimes we face Tempai and we have to go first, so you want something for Trust to be able to set. On extra deck side, there's not much going on here that's too interesting, like triple Gagari, two Shishugu, 2 Hayate, 1 Kaina, 1 Zeke, 1 Azealia. Camellia helps a bit, but it's not as important in TCG compared to what it could be do for us in TCG, because here we have also like triple into the void and just draw power, especially going second. Camellia's utility is a bit lower, but it's still good to have because of the 2 effect monster requirements. So it's easy to make, even even if you don't have normal access to your engine, you can just steal something and then maybe Shark can or something else, and then boom, you have a striker engine. Then Little Knight, no need to explain. Good card. Engage Zero is what the other thing we are missing still in TCG, and it's a lot. It's good. Like uh, having Ray alone threaten a board wipe, like monsters wipe, is really good. Or well, Rose too. Or Camellia, if you have the access, then you can do it that way as well. Like the way it works is you use Ray or Rose to go into a Hayate. Then battle phase, Hayate crash into enemy monster that has 1500 or more attack. Then send Ray or Rose, the one that is missing, from deck to graveyard, and then Ray triggers, bring back Ray. Ray effect, you can cheese out. Unlike other Sky Striker links, Ray can Engage Zero can be brought out with just Ray, like without Link summoning it. So Ray can make it, and then you can just attack and break board. And sometimes it's also just a effect negation for something like if opponent goes access code and you have linkage, you can just linkage to negate the access code talker, and it's a neat little thing that's additional value to linkage and to Engage Zero. The only thing to keep in mind with it is that it cannot be used as link material, so you kind of always have to have a plan on how you get it off your board, or like be prepared to be stuck on Engage Zero. Then Azealia Temperance as a link tree has been really good. Because a lot of times when you're forced to use linkage as your striker engine access, then you're stuck on like you can't clear enough of your opponent's board with monster effects, and Temperance helps a lot with it. Like the normal things is that I did is you linkage for something like Kagari to get the engage back, whatever, and then you can steal something, make Zeke, then maybe Zeke banishes something from EMZ to bring back a Rose from grave, or just Zeke removes one again, then you can Shark Cannon back one, then make Azealia, remove another, and then you can go back to making a Shishuku or something like that. And that way you have burned so much more monsters while also being under the striker lock. And then finally, it's just access code. Ends games, non-targeting pop. Also runs over a lot of the towers. Now, cards I could consider playing are like a hand. While not great, I can see a valid argument to playing it just because of Master Duel's best of ones. You sometimes need it. Or like it would be handy to be able to just tribute over a problematic monster. But I don't think like I'd rather take the L on those games than have the games where Hamp just doesn't do anything. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And thanks for watching. And tune into my streams. Sometimes I do mostly play Sky Striker, so if you want to see the deck in action, you can check it out. Or you can check stream WODs from the past month, where I've been laddering with the deck to see how it goes. Anyway, thanks for watching, and bye bye.